The next speaker in his group is really exciting. It's Anam Paiseanta. He's a friend of mine. He spoke actually at the first Anarchapulco and the second Anarchapulco. Very important idea of build your own tribe, neo-tribalism. And he has a motorcycle club called the Voluntarist Motorcycle Club, which is exciting. I hope everyone builds their own tribes. Whatever you're excited or passionate about, do that and build your own community, because these ideas are fire and spreading really quickly. Good?
Yeah, you gave us only screenshots, so we need someone to...
Yeah, your presentation was only photos. We needed a PowerPoint presentation. So in the future...
Well, it should be able, is it able to just slideshow, automatic?
We need to scroll through the document.
That's
Tell you what.
I opened all your photos in one document, and so
Okay.
you can scroll from one to the next.
What is it?
Yeah. Is this the right...
So build your own
Cool.
tribe.
Yeah.
This is the talk here.
Hey. Hey, Ezzy.
Awesome.
Ezzy.
All right, Am. So I'm gonna hand it over to you. You guys
Ezzy
introduce
McGregor.
however you want
Can you
to
go
do
to the
it.
slide, just go up and down with it until it's your turn?
And we are
Yeah.
here at Anarchapulco Day 2. So excited you
Oh,
guys
he's
are
gonna
here.
go for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, Anam Paiseanta and the Voluntarist Motorcycle Club. Let's hear it for him.
Thank you. Thanks, David. It's sweet that we were put next to Ash Oro talking about adding value. Hey, if you haven't left yet, don't leave, and if you have, come back in. Talking about adding value and creating something new, and especially the Buckminster Fuller quote, you can never fight the system from within, but you have to create a new paradigm that will make the old one obsolete. These are the words that we always have to have in our mind, that we have to be searching as anarchists and entrepreneurs for ways to add value into the world so that we can create these new systems that just take the wind out of the sails of the state. Who here has ever thought about or can identify with a desire to belong to a strong family? Like a family of... I should have let that have a little more time. Thanks, buddy. A family of your choosing, an intentional family. One with your common goals and values and language and beliefs. The word tribe has increasing prevalence in our anarchist vernacular right now. But what does the word tribe mean? There's a vague meaning that I think is most common, and we want to change that. And that is just to mean like a replacement term for affinity group. Like that guy likes the same music as me, or I saw him at Burning Man, like he's in my tribe. Or those people hate government just like me, they're my tribe. But there is a growing importance for this word to mean so much more. We anarchist activists want to move voluntarism from the ideal world into the real world. We want to evolve it from social media bitching to life experience, that our children will enjoy the next level of human social evolution. We must build or belong to new tribes. We are forming an intentional family that will serve for us 4 purposes, 4 roles. The first one is an agorist network. You may not have thought, oh, a motorcycle club, what are these guys going to talk about besides some crazy motorcycle action? There's a lot of intention behind this group, and it's not just about motorcycles, although that is one of the bonding factors that we share. We intend to create an agorist network, micro-economies outside of government influence is vital for the next evolution towards freedom. Hi, Sue. A business. This family, this intentional family of ours is also a business. Opportunities for members to add value to the world in exchange for profit. 3, we are a defensive militia. The psychopathy of government may someday initiate force on those of us who withdraw our personal power that those people at the top feed on. There are only two factors in human motivation, pleasure and pain. And we must admit, when we see these cops beating people and then the judge lets them go, why does this continue to happen over and over again? There's no risk for the judge. There isn't a consequence for the injustice that they are transmitting into the world. When and if they come to challenge us or to initiate force on us, we could be silently snuffed out, or we could assume our place in history and in legend and defend ourselves. And we choose the latter. The fourth role that this family is going to provide for us and our affiliates is an actual family. All of the support for the physical, mental, spiritual growth that an individual and his significant others want to have in their lives, the Voluntarist Brotherhood is going to provide that for that sort of environment for its members. We as anarchists further our goal of freedom when we join supportive, agorist network families. This is the basics of neo-tribalism. This is a word you're going to hear a lot more and more. And this is also the basis of this tribe called the Voluntarist Brotherhood Motorcycle Club. In the summer of 2017, I put out a call for other anarchists with motorcycles to join me on a ride from Portland, Oregon to Reno, Nevada. I was joined by Cody Limbaugh and Gio McGregor, two Facebook friends that I did not personally know yet, and also by my longtime friend, Hank the Red. Our ride traversed the mountains of Oregon, where we camped the first night, through the forest and desert of Northeast California, 2 crazy nights in Reno, back across the state of California, stopping every 10 miles of the last 80 miles to pump up a punctured tire through the middle of the night. That was an adventure. And then finding rest in a haunted hotel in the ocean town of Eureka, California. Then up the winding coastline, the Highway 101, I think it is, through the giant redwoods to camp again before the last 250-mile stretch back to Portland. Our motorcycle ride, this epic journey of ours, ended on the day of the solar eclipse in 2017. This trek was the modern analogy of the warriors, of the literary warrior's journey. All across this adventure, we shared our passion for political and personal freedom, and mixed with the spiritual effects of the wind and motorcycles on the open road, the strong bonds that men form around motorcycles and also anarchy, both compelled us to solidify this group to achieve new goals. We wrote down our shared beliefs, and this document became one of the formative documents of the VBMC. And these beliefs are: we believe that voluntary society is the next level of human social evolution. We believe in self-ownership, self-defense, and personal responsibility. We believe in the non-aggression principle. We do not initiate force on others, and the obverse of that. We do not tolerate the initiation of force upon our members or their significant others. We believe in self-development. All of our members should be on a constant journey towards their highest version of themselves. We support the projects of other members. Our sixth belief is we believe in and are active in black markets and gray markets whenever possible. And our seventh belief is a bit more spiritual. We believe that an observation of the human body shows that it has just 2 functions, and this gives us a little bit of insight as to the mission, the human mission. Those 2 functions are to sense and sustain. We bring in these signals, process the signals in the mind, make meaning out of them, and then allow a certain amount of attachment to an event, transmute that event into an experience. And the other thing that the body does is sustain. Our lymphatic system, our respiratory, our digestive systems, reproductive systems, all are here at work trying to keep us alive longer so that we can have more experience. This understanding that we've come to is our basis of the idea of our understanding of self-ownership, that the experience is centered here in the body, and this is where our highest claim over our body and our experience comes from. So now I'm going to hand over the mic to Gio McGregor, who's going to talk about the structure of our club, and we're also, towards the end, going to talk about how people who are not even interested in motorcycles or motorcycle clubs can actually find a place in our family. Gio McGregor. So you're gonna want to be mic'd with this too, buddy.
Oh, we got two here.
Yep.
Cool. Nice. All right. As said, I'm Gio, one of the first four. I'm not so excited about public speaking, but I'm really excited about this movement, this club. I feel this is a time to organize under principles we voluntarily associate with. We are not structured like a typical motorcycle club. This movement is much bigger than just riding bikes. We see VBMC as a tribe coming together because of principle. There are levels for all voluntarists. All levels in the club manifested from observations of aspects in nature and its cycles. The top level of membership is the first four, who in time become the four seasons. They impart wisdom and protect the heritage of the club. This could be compared to the president of typical MCs, but with no executive power. The first four are Hank, Anam, Cody, and I. The idea for the first four came from this obsession of order in nature and its natural laws. The first four will be placed by the four seasons. Representatively, the role is just that. Cycles of the year which guide all that happens throughout it. The seasons come up with the ideas the zodiacs decide on. Conceptually, the 13th warrior. Guided by the 12 zodiacs, another position in the club, zodiacs, are the administrative layer of VBMC. The idea of being guided by 12 is a theme founded in the stars and has been a tool you'll find utilized throughout history. Stars and zodiacs have been an obsession of ancient culture. Observed through the many nights of our past, below zodiacs, nights are a level of membership where you receive your full patch. And in other MCs is referred to as simply full patch membership. At this level, you gain access to much more of the inner workings of the club. Exclusive hand-to-hand combat training, physical training, and marksmanship training are available and are being further developed. Training is also a monthly requirement at a facility in or out of the club if you're choosing. You must make 4 rides a year at this level. Must meet physical and skill requirements. These are all requirements for this level and levels above it. Apprentice, Latin root for apprehend, means you are already 100% a voluntarist and are totally on board with what this club is about. This replaces the prospect position of a typical MC structure. This is an invite-only position. This is the beginning of the warrior's journey. All the previous stated positions are not for everyone and will not apply to most. This is the level where you decide, I want to start the year-long journey, 4-ride requirement to higher levels in the club and other responsibilities. Because we are a club of principles, everyone seeking more involvement is required to go through this. Doesn't matter age, location, or financial status. Having a bike is a requirement starting at this level. You'll be invited on private rides. You will inevitably develop a stronger bond as you will meet more and more members and spend a lot more time with the club. Associate is where we see the bulk of this club being. For all volunteers who support our key beliefs and want to actively perform as a part of this family, you become a part of the tribe. No bike is required. There are a plethora of opportunities and responsibilities available to associates who desire them. You'll become informed on public parties, events, rides, and financial opportunities. Access pass to clubhouses. You'll get the ability to rent clubhouses for private events at discounted rates. You'll become a part of our Aggers network. Club members will use you first for services you provide. And to finish off, for change to happen, people need to act on their beliefs. We don't expect everyone in this room to join VBMC, but we encourage everyone in this room to band together in tribes and make something happen. Thank you. I'm going to hand it off to Hank now to talk about the future of the club.
Hey, Jim.
Oh my God. Yeah. I want paper. Very nice.
You very good. All right. Thank you very much, Gio. Appreciate it. Can I take that? Put it back here. All right. My name is VB Hank, also known as Hank the Red. I am one of the first four of the VBMC, and today I'll be presenting the future goals of the club. A few of these goals, short-term goals, include acquiring a clubhouse near Las Vegas. This will be necessary for winter operations, as well as storage for bikes, winter rides, tools, any necessary items that we'll need in the wintertime that won't otherwise be available. We are all very excited about the Vegas Clubhouse because we plan to begin hosting an annual anarchist gathering on the 5th of November. Does anybody know what happened on the 5th of November? We should all forever remember the 5th of November. Am I right? Another short-term goal, as well as a long-term goal, is the VBMC will provide protection for independent and alternative media because it is becoming increasingly necessary in the face of censorship and hostility towards independent media that is not controlled or produced by mainstream media outlets. Being stifled and purged. That's not acceptable. If any of you are independent media and you need any help, please contact us. Some of the long-term goals of the club include our support for any secession movements. Through helping keep the peace during the secession process. A good example of this is what happened in Spain with the Catalonian people recently. Catalonian people wanted to secede from the Spanish government. They'd had it, they were done. We don't want to do this anymore. We want to be on our own. You guys do what you do over there, we'll do us. Spanish government didn't like that. They sent the police to basically extinguish that ability, that interest, and kept them from voting it. And you guys know the rest of the story. Excuse me, I'm also not as good at public speaking as Donald Trump. So part of the reason for us offering assistance during secession movements is because having a barrier between the people that wish to have freedom or create their own freedom and the opposing interests dramatically increases with this type of assistance. We will provide support for voluntarist movements as well as any other secession movements because we believe this will aid in increasing freedom in the areas of other types of groups secede from. So if they're, Another long-term goal of the club is to grow our agorist network through our members as well as associates of the club. The VBMC will have an ever-expanding network of clubhouses and inventories to help grow the club worldwide, but also to provide necessary retreats for anarchists in the future. And finally, we train as a defensive militia to help not only with secession, but to defend our family, as well as other anarchists and voluntarists. Thank you. Clip you up here.
I'm Ezzy. I'm an apprentice within the VBMC, and I'm going to be speaking about the apprentice journey through my perspective. Around the time that the club was being created, I was at the point in my life to where I was actively seeking and thinking of a way that I could be part of a community that's voluntary and that upholds the non-aggression principle. So when my brother came to me and told me about the Voluntarist Brotherhood, that immediately struck a chord, and I began to think of all the things it could be. Now, I know my brother and I trust my brother, and we agree with things pretty much 100% across the board, but I didn't know these other men, and for me it was very important that I did get to know them before I joined any club or community to ensure that their core beliefs matched up with mine. So I first met Anam and Cody when we were at an Anarchapulco event, and then later I met Hank when I went on 2 rides with the club. The first ride was to Spokane for the Red Pill event, and there I got an introduction to their personalities. And by the way, riding long distance on a motorcycle is one of the most freeing and spiritual experiences that I have ever had. But on the second ride, we got a little more in depth on as to the things that we believe, what we want to see happen, what we want to see the club do, and what a club means to us. And we matched up, and I was like, this is it. This is what I've been looking for. And so I got on board and I accepted the apprentice journey. Now, the apprentice journey is 1 year long and at least 4 full rides. Now, when I think about a community or a tribe or a club, the first thing that comes to mind is that it has to be voluntary. And then I begin to think of all the things that one might gain from something like that. I feel like you gain mentally when you surround yourself with people who are actively trying to seek new knowledge and who are open to new ideas and accepting of other people's thoughts and ideas. And when you're in an environment like that, you begin to bond and you get close like a family, and you're able to come together and protect that family. Also create the environment for an agarist network to exist. Now, the Voluntarist Brotherhood, we are a militia, and we actively train with our weapons and our bodies to be able to protect our loved ones, ourselves, and our property. We are also a family, a place to where you can have a family and know that you will be influenced and encouraged to raise that family free from the toxicity of the state, free from the thought-destructive, mind-controlling schools, free from their poisonous needles, and free from a number. I will never register a human being like it's a vehicle.
Yeah.
We are also able to protect that family and their freedom. We are an agarist network, and the way that we go into this thinking, well, hold on. When I have my family and my kids, they'll be able to go to Anam and they'll see Anam as Uncle Anam. They'll be able to go to Hank and see him as Uncle Hank. And I know that when they do, they'll be influenced positively and freely. Now, we are an agarist network. And the way we do think about this is that if we have any needs of goods or services, we first go within the club and then the associate level. And if nobody can help us there, then we go to any other anarchist, voluntarist, or free individual. And if nobody can help us there, then we go anywhere else. But what this does is it allows us to bypass state economics and free ourselves from its chains. It allows us to do business freely and effectively, because we all know that the government only hinders freedom and efficiency within business between individuals. For me, when I look at that, I see that that's beautiful. Also, we create the environment to where you can leave your JOBs and give yourselves the time and financial freedom that all of us deserve, all of you deserve, to live the life that all of you deserve, to have the experiences within it that you want and that you deserve to have, and you can have them freely. To me, again, that is something that is beautiful. And I had to ask myself, do I want to be the one who's a part of making that vision a reality? That was easy. That was a loud and resounding yes. And so I encourage all of you to ask yourselves that same question.
So there's a lot of information in a 20-minute span, and there was probably some terms that were not 100% understood by everyone. So I want to open it up to questions.
Are you guys out of Portland?
Portland in the summertime, like the Pacific Northwest, and then Las Vegas, Nevada is our center of activities in the wintertime.
Are you exclusively for men?
The Brotherhood is.
And why?
The Brotherhood is, but we are anxious for women to step up who want to be associated with the club and form their own side of the club. And we
How do you
would,
distinguish that?
how do we distinguish that?
Yeah, what, like you say, okay, there is the club needs to be one sexual. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Germany, so my English is not very well.
No, that's okay. Mine's terrible also.
Yeah, why we have only women only? Why not mixed?
That's a really great question.
At the associate level.
Yeah. We think that there is a certain energy that can produce certain results when honored in the yang side. And then we feel exactly the same about the yin side. But that they aren't the same thing, and they have their own qualities, and they should be honored. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when we help, should in the future, looking at the people on the other side of the camera, some ladies step up and want to form their own branch of the Volunteers Brotherhood, the Volunteer Sisterhood, then we'll help them set up the structure, help them in any way that they want to.
And you would be still one family.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes. That's a great question. Thank you. Anybody else? Yes.
Tell me about your business networks. How do you actually, how do you map that out?
Yep.
Are you related? How do you make that work?
So there's the levels of the club that we talked about that are for the people who want to be on the inside circle that are actual in the motorcycle club, right? The concentric circles. But then there's this people who want to be loosely affiliated with us and join the club family as associates. They don't have to have motorcycles or they don't have any kind of requirements the way the inside of the club does. But when they sign up with us, they tell us about whatever kind of products or services that they offer. And then everyone, we have a culture in the club that everyone in the club buys our goods and services that we need from people within the club first. And then our intention is that these are going to be off the record, not taxed, sidestepping government as much as possible.
How do you publish that is what I'm saying? Is I understand the kind of the tiers, but
Yep.
how do you publish that?
Oh, so that'll be on our website. The list. So anybody in the club at associate.
AKA, was this planned?
Oh my God. What? Yeah, we're trying to represent at the moment, but no, we have no kind of requirements on what you wear. We've been caught wearing some crazy stuff. And there's no bikes, like it doesn't have to be Harley Davidsons or anything like that. A few of us own a few different bikes, and only a few of them are Harley Davidsons. Some of them are Yamahas, and we don't have any kind of requirements like that. Our big thing is that you're an anarchist, and we're going to share the same language of freedom and the same love of the sensation of freedom on the road together. Yeah.
Are you doing anything international? Are you starting to talk to other countries?
We might have one in Australia soon, if you have a bike. Let's talk.
We have more people interested in Australia.
Yeah, cool. One more question?
Yeah. What is your plan for scaling? So obviously you've got sort of a structure that's working today because you've got a certain number of people.
Cool.
At what point does if you grew to 1,000 people, how do you see that evolving?
So as Gio was explaining, that there's a level of 12 people called the Zodiacs underneath the first four. They are the ones that help administrate and disseminate information. They will actually be sent to represent different areas in the world. So it won't be like your typical MC structure where there's chapters, and then the chapters are operating independently and sometimes against each other. So that's exactly how we plan to grow. And that's the last question. Thank you very much.
Anam Paiseanta and the Volunteers Brotherhood.
And
Anarchapulco, it's so hype, I'm trying to tell ya. This the event of the year and best vacation ever. Ron Potter, Jeffrey Tucker, just to name a few. Get your tickets, you don't wanna miss it. You should roll through. Talking politics to health and self-improvement to investing. So many things, not one thing. Learn how to live life unchained, yeah. 4 days vibing on the beach, time to connect. All about growth, way more than a conference. This is Anarchapulco, yeah. Let's go.
You ain't seen nothing yet.